Hello, everyone. I'm Cesar, and here is my colleague Bianca. Bianca.
Hello.
So today we are going to have a workshop. We have 1 hour and 30 minutes. A workshop about dual screen development. So we are going to see how to create an app from an app that is designed for single screen devices, and then we are going to enhance the app so it's adapt to what new form factor devices provide, that is having two screens, no? As for instance Surface Duo has. So we are going to see, we are going to follow a code, a repository that we already have on GitHub, and then we are going to do live coding. So most of the time in this workshop we are going to do live coding. When we finish that, if we have time, then we are going to see other projects that we already have available. So we are going to see some code and some other libraries that we have provided as well for dual screen development. And yeah, so basically this will be the agenda. So as a summary, we are going to do live coding, we are going to implement an app, single screen, then we enhance to dual screen, and then we do also UI testing for the dual screen. Afterwards, then we are going to see other projects and also your questions. So I'm going to be doing the live coding, and Bianca is going to be handling all the questions in Slido. So please, whenever you want to ask something, just post your question, and Bianca then will take the questions, and then we will answer the question during the workshop. So no need to wait until the end. Please, whenever you have something, just write that. So then we have also like a more fluent conversation with you folks in the other side. So yeah, I'm going then to start. So first thing that I wanted to show you is, so I wrote some prerequisites that we wanted that the attendees could have in advance in order to like code together, no? But I completely understand that this it needs work from your side, and this is a really 2 days, 2 busy days with a lot of content, a lot of talks, a lot of Q&As, and so on. So, anyways, what I'm going to show you then, what you will need. For instance, if you have time to do it now, perfect. But if not, for later. So I'm going to show you what is required for following this workshop. Okay. So the first thing will be going to this URL that, by the way, we have shared. If you go to our previous talk from yesterday, we shared all the different links that we shared in our session. So the links that I'm going to show here about, for instance, how to access to this website with the docs or the Kotlin samples and so on, everything is there. But you can also take the URL from here. So here in this website, so we have our docs. This is our main documentation center for Surface Duo development. Here in this link, get the Surface Duo emulator is where you can download the Surface Duo emulator, the dual screen emulator, to test your apps. Will be super easy then. So you just navigate a little bit down and then click here and download Surface Duo preview. That will launch this website that with Surface devices, and then here with this red button is where you have to click, and then you can download the emulator for Windows, for Mac, or for Ubuntu as a dev package. Okay, so having said that, what we are going to cover today, to work on today, is on this sample app. So we are going to create an app that follows the list detail pattern that we are going to see now, what the list detail pattern does. So we are going to follow, we are going to create an app, but this app is already created here in this the repository. We already shared the links in the workshop. I think there is a section here in talk about some links that the speakers can post. So everything is there. This link is already there as well. So you can go there, you can clone this app, and then you can, if you want to work with me now, you can do it now or later when you have time. So this app, it has 5 branches. So the first one is the main one is main. That is already has everything. So it has the full app already enhanced for dual screen devices. And also it has the dual screen UI test. So if you just clone the app and then check out the main branch and then you run the app, you are going to get a fully functional app in your device or emulator. But for learning purposes, for following like in a better way this workshop, what we have created is a series of 4 branches. So the first one is a starting point. Here, this branch, what it has is like the basic structure of the project. So the basic component, the Gradle folder, the resource folder, the typical launcher, images, and so on. And also already it has implemented so we are going to implement a list detail app. So an app that it is based on a list, and then when we click, we open a new view with the content of this item. So for that, we need a list of items. So here in the starting point branch, we already have implemented the recycler view with the item view, with the view holder, and with the data class that we are going to use. So since this is not really important, implement that for this workshop, so then we avoid wasting time implementing the recycler view, so everything is already here. And when you run the app, the app is just going to display an empty layout, that's all. So we are going to start from this branch. So I'm going to do all the live coding starting in this branch. So if you are now at home and wants to follow the same that I'm doing, please check out this branch and then we can work together. Then this branch already has everything implemented for single designed for single screen devices or single screen mode for Surface Duo. So it has already the app and list items. When you click, it shows a new fragment with the item content. So everything is already finished. Then in this branch, it starts from the single screen and adds the dual screen enhancement that we are going to work on now. So all the things that they are needed in order to enhance your app for dual screen devices, or at least this app, this list item apps, is already there. And then finally, we have this branch that is called UI test, and is basically, as the name says, is where we are adding the UI test. So yeah, main, as I said before, includes everything, but if you want to go little by little, you just can go out little by little. And then from here is from where we are going to start, starting point. Okay, list detail pattern. What we are going to follow, so as I said before, it's an app that is based on a list, and then when you click on an item, then a new fragment is open. So in a single screen device, is like this. I think that this is like the 80% of the apps in the store. So it's just based on a list. When you click on an item, then you get the content of the item. And for dual screen devices, what we want to offer is a better experience. The better experience will be having the list of items here in the left screen and the detail when you click in the right screen. And this is basically what we are going to do, what we are going to enhance in the app. Follow the list detail pattern, also is known as master detail. And basically that's all. So having said that, I think we are going to start now. I'm going to share here. Perfect. Okay. So I already have, I'm not going to clone the repo, I already have cloned it, and I have also already checked out the starting point branch. So this is the starting point that we want to follow, and if you want to follow right now, as I said before, you can do it. So a little overview of what we have here. As I said before, is basically like the main the project structure, super simple. And then the recycler view content. If we go to the recycler view content, what we have here is a super basic data class. So the data that we are going to use for our app, that is based in a number and a string. That's all, super easy. Then we have the item view holder, that it has it has exactly so the item that we have for the recycler view is just based on a layout, and then we have in the left side a number, and then in the right side we have the body. As you can see here, for instance, it represents this. No, so we have this is the item that we are going to use for the recycler view, and it's basically a linear layout with an item that is a number, and then with a body. And then we have the items layout, that is just the recycler view, that's all. And then the activity, sorry, the activity, here the activity, that if we go to its layout, no, is what I saw before, that is just a frame layout. If we run right now the app, if we run the app, for instance, here in dual screen, in the Surface Duo emulator, I think yeah, it's running. It's just that, it's just next time I will do launching too. It's just an empty layout, so a frame layout. So we just have, as you see here, the manifest. We have just the main activity and nothing else. So, and since now the layout that is using in the main activity is just a frame layout with no content, this is what we saw. Okay. So having said that, then we are going to start. The first step, what we are going to do is implementing the real app, no? Like, okay, we have the recycler view, now we are going to add the UI layer. And then after that, we will enhance that. So, okay, we are going to start by, first thing that we are going to do, I'm going to close the others, will be, here we have a frame layout. What the strategy that we are going to follow is what probably most of apps that they follow a list detail pattern follows. Like it's basically one activity, no, with one fragment with the list, and then another fragment that handles the content. And we are going to follow the same. So here, for instance, in our main activity, what we are going to do is to create here, instead of frame layout, we are going to have the fragment container view. So we would be able to allocate the fragment. And we are going to give here the name. Okay. So this is from the activity side, it's done. And here in the activity, so when we launch the app for the first time, no, here in onCreate, what we are going to do then is to allocate the list fragment. So what we do then is support fragment manager, begin transaction, replace, list, this fragment container, and then here will be list items fragment. We haven't already implemented the list, the fragment, but we will do it later, and then commit. Okay, so this will be for the main activity, and now then we are going to proceed creating the list fragment. Okay, fragment. Okay, so this list items fragment is where we are going to add then the recycler view. So then we are going to do to add. Of course, this is a sample. And if we will have more time, we will do things way better. Now, following maybe different architectural patterns, or maybe also using some architectural components that Google provides, and many other more real oriented scenarios. Okay. Init bar. So we are going to say recycler view. And then we are going to do the same with my layout manager. Recycler view. Manager. And then here I had a typo. Init my adapter. Here is we already have the items adapter. Okay, so we have that, and now we are going to then in onCreate view, here to view later inflate Then the layout that we have, that is the items, list items layout. As you can see here, the recycler view has this name. Sorry, the layout has this name, list items layout. So it's what we are going to use. And then the container. Then, okay. And now here is where we are going to do the my adapter. But before, so here, for instance, we do here items adapter, and then the items adapter, as you can see, expects the item and on click. So the data set and the on click. So we are going to do it here. So here, for instance, we can do private data set, and then array of, and here we're going to do item one. This is number one, and then we're going to copy. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to use 10, and that's all. Is enough. And then here we're going to change also. So as you see, it's a super basic data set with just, let's say, dummy item object, and that's all. Okay, so then this items adapter, now it use the data set, and here we will using the on click listener that we haven't created yet. So here we will do click. Okay. Here what we do is the my layout manager, linear layout manager, and then we're going to require context. And then here, the last thing will be, okay, we have the adapter, we have the layout manager, we have the data set, then we are going to instantiate the recycler view. And the recycler view will be view ID, I think it was called list items. Yep, list items. Here the type, recycler view, and then here apply, and then here's 4. So we have a data set with 10 items. So then we know that is we have a fixed size. So here 2, so for performance, and then layout manager is the layout that we already have created, and then the adapter. The adapter is the adapter that we have here, and basically we will be important, of course, return the view. Okay, so here we will have it, and then here what we are going to do. So this is the click listener that we are going to use every time that we tap on an item. So here then what we are going to do is just so every time that we tap on an item, what we want to do then is to replace to show the detail fragment. No, so then since we have the fragment container that is in the activity, what we are going to do is to use this fragment container to replace the list items fragment, that is this one, for the details fragment that we will implement later. So then here we can do something like this, run. And then parent fragment manager, begin transaction, replace ID fragment container, and then here detail fragment that we haven't implemented yet. We on stack, add to back stack, and then we will do here name detail fragment, and then the last step will be commit. And yeah, for the list fragment, I believe if we haven't missed anything, we will be ready. Okay. Okay.
We also have number 10 for the last item.
Oh, so thank you, Bianca. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so then I believe it's fine. Exactly, we have here still the error, but now we are going to implement the detail fragment. So maybe you are thinking that, okay, this is kind of boring. We are implementing something that everybody knows, but our main point here was to you have a better understanding of what we currently have, no? That is this list items app. So you are aware about the components that we are using for this app in order then to understand better how we are going to enhance. So yeah, this was the main point, just in case you are wondering why are we implementing this app instead having had done before or yeah. So, okay. Okay, here then, the test fragment, what we have, then will be non-create view, basically the same, but view, and then plate are, oh, important, we didn't have, exactly, we haven't created yet the layout, so we are going to create the layout. So, detail layout. Okay, I'm going to use, this is super basic stuff, and I don't want really to deal with the constraint layout. So we are just going to add, as I said before, so our data is just a super simple item that it has a number and a body and a string. So what we are going to have then in our detail fragment is exactly that. It's just basically two text views. So then what we do is here, parent, for instance, and then content. Here I'm going to give detail number, then Android, something big, I don't know, speed, up, and then text style, tools, for instance, bold, and then tools to see, tool namespace, going to move the namespace here, so we can use it also in the other text view, and then here to see now how it looks in the design view preview, we are going to do text, and then one, and then I believe will be done, yeah, and then we are going to add now the text view that belongs to the body, Android ID, we're going to give it basically like before. So detail body. Then Android text size. Also let's speed 30, and then Android gravity center, and then the tools we can see now. Tools. Then this is number 1. Okay, I believe we will be done. I'm going to center here the content. Okay, so up. Vertical. Okay, this is fine. Here, fine as well. I want to add here, center, and then, and I believe now everything is like, yeah, fine. Okay, we can proceed with this one. Super basic, super ugly, but fine enough. Okay, so we already have then the layout for the. I forgot. I'm going to add the name to the layout to the here. ID detail layout. Okay, and then here the detail fragment. We already can use then the layout, detail layout, container, and false. Okay, here there are multiple ways to. So here in the detail fragment, no, at the end, the purpose of this fragment is to show the information that is coming from the item, no? From when you click from the item, there are many ways to do that. You could use callback, you could use other, I don't know, different architectural patterns or different ways. But we can follow something that is super basic and super easy and super powerful, and actually it's also nice and deal with all the life cycles. And will be a view model. So what we can create is a view model that is going to help us in order to share the information from the list fragment that contains the list of items with the detail fragment. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to create it, for instance, here is a shared view model. So here class, shared view model, extends view model. And here what we are going to have is basically a selected item, and then is how was it, list of, I forgot, list, I forgot, 1 second, I forgot the name, I forgot the name, 1 second, I have here another, because I completely forgot. Leave data.
Let's have it a mutable live data so we can also change.
Mutable live data. Thank you, Bianca. Exactly, this is what I was. How was it? Mutable live data?
Yes.
But I don't have anything here in the auto completion. I completely. I don't know why it's not auto completing. So this is live. So it happens. 1 second. Okay, what we can do is going here where we have already. I didn't like to do that, but I completely forgot the name of that. Multiple live data is at least what Bianca said, but I don't know why. Here, I think the capital letter was the important thing here. When I was doing lowercase, exactly was not showing anything. If I use the capital letter in them, okay, perfect. Thank you, Bianca. Okay, and then this is an item. Okay, and then here. Okay, so then what we have here, as we have said before, is just a view model node that has the selected item, and that's all. Okay, with that, then we can do here so that our detail view fragment observes for changes in this mutable live data. So whenever we have new content in this mutable live data, then our fragment is going to update its UI. So then this is pretty handy. So what we have here, I have then what we have to define. So val view model by activity view models. Okay. By activity view model. Exactly. Okay. Okay. Then here we have that, and then we do selected item. And then we observe on the selected item, and here we do the view cycle of owner, and then observe. The type is an item. And then here, okay, what observer. This one, item. Okay, and here what we do then is view, find by view. Then the text view, we are going to update the text view, the number, for instance. Here, ID, detail, number, text, and then it will be it.number, and then the same with the body of the detail view. Find view ID, text view, r ID, detail body dot text. Text view ID body. This was exactly to string because it was an integer, and to body, and and then we are going to add here as well. I think with get string we have created before to not just to show the content of the item like this. What we said in the data set, this is a number. We added also some extra thing. So here I think it was called body text suffix, and then I believe it's fine. I don't know what is written here, and then we return the view. There is still something missing. I have here selected item, observe, first life cycle, observer, item, then the text, data. Observer. I don't know why. Oh, okay. This is not the item that we wanted. No, this is the item. Here in the view model, I believe. No, exactly. No. This is not the one that we wanted. Look, this is the important thing, the good thing of when you have like in the past, no, workshops with you have people, no, so people also could raise your hand and say, hey, this is not what you wanted to use. This is another thing. Okay. Perfect. Now it's fine. Okay, and then return view, and I believe we haven't forgotten anything. We will be ready here in the detail view fragment. Okay. Then in the list fragments, exactly this is already here, but now we are using the SerView the SerView model. So that is already using the detail fragment somehow, but here we haven't linked the view model with the recycler view, with the list items fragment. So then what we are going to do it is basically the same. So SerView model, search view model, and then by activity view models. Okay. Okay, perfect. And here we want also then to provide to the activity to the adapter in order to fill this view model, so then the detail fragment can access to the data. Okay, so then here what we are going to do, adding here, and then we have to add here view model. Perfect. Okay, so now we have the view model here, and then we will be able to use it. So here, if I'm not wrong, will be selected item, value, and then item that we already have. So every time that we click, we assign the content of the item that we have clicked to the view model, and then so then we have already the data set in the view model, so the detail fragment can access to the view model in order to show the information. And I believe if I haven't missed anything, we should be fine to go. Exactly. So the list fragment now is fine here. We already have implemented the list fragment, no errors here. The detail fragment as well, no errors. So yeah, let's give a try. Run multiple devices, 2. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's running. Okay, so we have here the list in the Surface Duo emulator and in the single screen emulator. We open, super ugly, detail view, that's all. We go back, fine. Okay, and here it will be the same. So we click in the number 5, we have the content here. We go back with the gesture. Then we are back here. Number 6, fine, fine. Number 4, fine. Okay, and now, so the list, the app is already implemented and designed, so we didn't care about dual screen devices, so we just took into account single screen devices. So in Surface Duo, as you can see, you are going to, if you download the Surface Duo emulator, you will be able to play and to try many things. So in Surface Duo, all apps, they can use both screens at the same time. As Bianca explained yesterday, for those that you attended the session, this is called span. So this gesture that we are going to do now, this is when we put the app in span mode. So it's using both screens at the same time. So this gesture is called span. And when we go from span to single screen, will be called unspan. So when we span the app, as you see here, the app works, of course. It's using both screens, it's fine, but the UI is not nice, no? I mean, okay, this app is not nice, but yeah, this is not really nice, having an item that takes the whole width of both screens, with the hinge in the middle that is hiding some information, no? And then when we tap on the item, look here, no? The number that we set, and you can see here, no, is in the right in the middle, and because the hinge is here, is located here, we are missing an important information that for us will be the number, or here other information. So we don't want to do that. We want that in single screen mode, we offer a really good experience, and also when we are in dual screen, so users, they also enjoy a good experience, no? If possible, and definitely is possible. So then what we are going to do is, so this gesture is unspan, so now it's coming back to single screen mode, so it can be used as before. Okay, so now what we are going to do, and is the good thing, or I mean the key part of this workshop, at is when we are going to enhance the app. We are going to enhance the app, and yeah, we are going to make the steps needed in order to follow, when we are in span mode, the list detail pattern. So you have a list in the left side, and the detail view in the right side. How we can do that? Okay, let's work on that. First thing, I have in another screen here some like the content that we are going to copy and paste, because I don't know, for instance, the URL of the Maven repository that we use. So first thing will be our approach. We could do this from scratch, definitely, like implement the list detail when we are in span mode. We handle everything by ourselves. We take into account the dimensions of the Surface Duo, where the hinge is located, the dimension of the hinge, and so on. Definitely, we can all do it by ourselves with anything. But we, the Surface Duo developer experience team, where Bianca and me are working, we already have created a lot of really cool libraries that will make your life easier. So for that, we are going to use one of our libraries that is called Surface Duo Layout, and it makes really easy to implement dual screen patterns that they are based in the list detail, the dual view, and the companion pane pattern. So using that library, we will be able to achieve what we want really, really easy. You will see. But of course, if you want to do it by yourself, please go ahead. A tip for here would be use Window Manager from Google. So then with Window Manager, you are going to be able to get the information that Surface Duo, that new form factor devices have. No, so in Surface Duo, as we saw yesterday, for those that you attended, with the Window Manager, we were able to see which kind of device our app was running on, and where the hinge was located, the exact coordinates. So yeah, if you want to do it by yourself, use Window Manager. Okay. Then first thing, exactly what we are going to do here, the first thing is in the root build Gradle is going to add the our Maven repository that we currently have for our libraries, and it's this one. This is also in our docs, okay? So don't try to memorize or don't worry, please. It's already in our docs. It's everything very well explained there. Okay, so we have already here our repo, and then we are going to sync. Okay, perfect, has been synced. I don't have, okay. Then in the app build Gradle, what we are going to do then is to use the dependency that we need from our Surface Duo layout. That is this one, layouts 1.00, alpha 2, Surface Duo layout. So here in this library is included the Surface Duo layout and the Surface Duo frame layout. So, and also our core utilities like Screen Helper, Screen Manager, and so on. So this is probably the first step for you to use and to have a look when developing for dual screen devices, this dependency, the dual screen layouts dependency. Okay, so we already have sync, and then the strategy that we are going to follow, as we explained yesterday with the Surface Duo layout. So the Surface Duo layout is a layout that allows you to, when you are in single screen mode, to define one layout that is going to be used in single screen mode, and when the app is expand, allows you also to define one layout for the left screen and another layout for the right screen. But also, the Surface Duo layout allows you to have instead layouts, so one activity with one layout, one activity with two layouts in span mode, fragments as well. So one fragment for single screen and two fragments, one from left screen and another for right screen when you are in span mode. So we are going to take this approach. Yesterday we explained how Surface Duo layout can be used with layouts, with XML, and now we are going to see how we can use it with fragments. Okay, so then we already have here, and what we are going to do is in the main activity, the first thing that we are going to do is to replace the activity main, the layout that we have here, the component that we are using, the fragment container view, with our Surface Duo layout. Surface Duo layout that we already have here. We added the dependency, and it's fine. So I don't know if someone is saying something. No. Bianca, everything is fine?
Yes.
Okay. I heard that I had something in my headphones. Okay, fine, super. Okay, Then, yeah, we have just added the Surface Duo layout here, and we are fine to go. Then we come back to the main activity, and here, before, we said, when we start the activity, we just add the list item fragment to the fragment container. And whenever we tap on an item, we are going to replace in the fragment container one fragment for the other. But now we are adding the dual screen scenario. So we have also to add a specific case for when we are in dual screen, when we are in span mode. How to detect that we are in span mode? Really, really simple. So, for instance, if you are using Window Manager, as we saw yesterday, we'll be using Window Manager, and Window Manager with the device feature, you will get that information. But here in our libraries, we also have added a layer on top of that with more helpful functions, and you don't have to do calculations, you don't have to deal with callbacks. So it's just, so for instance, here we could do just a screen helper that is also in our dependency, and here you see that there are many things like get int, get screen rectangles, the window rect. But we are interested now in is dual mode. That is the simplest but super useful method. Then with the context, so here we are saying that when we are in dual in span mode, in dual screen mode, do this, else do that, right? Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this, and here, so I'm going to implement first this, when we are in single screen mode, that is here, the else, and when we are in single screen mode, now what we are going to do is not using the fragment container. What we are going to do is using the first container ID. So Surface Duo Layout provides other attributes that can be used also to place your layouts. One is the first container ID for the start screen, for the left screen, and the other is the second container ID for the second screen. So for here, we will just do that, just first container ID, this items fragment, and here when we are in dual screen mode, what we do is for first container ID, the list fragment, but also when we are for the second screen, we add the detail fragment. And basically, I believe that's everything that we need for the main activity. Okay, what else? Okay, then the list item fragments now, one thing that we have to change is here in the on-click listener. In the on-click listener, before, whenever we tap on an item, we replace the previous container for the new fragment. This is fine for single screen mode or single screen devices, but for dual screen mode, for span mode, this is not needed since we already have the detail fragment in the right side. So then what we have to do here is just to this has to be wrapped in with the screen helper, is dual mode, this. So whenever we are in single screen mode, so this is for single screen mode, okay? Then we do what we were doing before. And if we tap on the item and we are in dual screen mode, we don't do anything because our detail fragment, we want that is already there, is already visible. So we don't have really to replace a fragment from another. Our detail fragment is already there. Okay, so I believe that will be everything. So we already have, so in the detail fragment, I think we don't have to do anything else. Yeah, so I believe we'll be fine. I have some notes, that's the reason that I'm seeing if I miss anything. Okay, I think it's fine. Oh, best thing to do it is just trying. Okay, so we are going to stop bot, and then we are going to start the app again. Oh. And we are going to run the app in both emulators to see how it looks now, the app. Maybe I miss something, maybe not, who knows. Okay, it's building. Okay, so let's test single screen mode. Okay, this is not working. Something has happened here. Okay. Okay. Item. Click listen. What has happened?
So for the ID in the click listener.
Oh, yeah, Bianca. Exactly. Thank you, Bianca. Good eye. Okay, we are going to try again. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you a lot. Okay, so now we have so in single screen mode, then it seems it's working. We tap on another item, it's fine. Okay, and here in the Surface Duo emulator, we tap on the item, fine, it shows the info, fine, it shows the info. And then when we expand the app, it shows the info and follows what we wanted. We wanted to have a list detail pattern implemented when we are running the app in dual screen device. So it's what we have. So now we have the list of items in the left screen and the detail view, the detail fragment in the right screen. And whenever we change the item, we have here the content, the correct content, 5, 3, 1, 6. And then when we go back, the app should work as before. Number 5, totally fine. And then number 8, if we go here. Okay, this is something that we can improve. So I think it's useful that when we tap on an item, so again, when we tap on an item here, so for instance here, number 7, and now we expand the app, it remembers and highlights the item that was selected, no? So then you have a better context. I think, for instance, apps like Outlook, they do that. So I think we can do that, I think pretty easy because we already have the share view model. So what we can now do is also share the position in the share view model. So if I'm not wrong, I did in the past. So that's the reason that I know that it should work. So we can do selected item, position, then not anymore that problem, please. Table list live data, int. Okay, and then here in the items adapter, what we can do is instead this, I think we don't need that anymore because now what we are going to do is using the share view model. Item position, value, because the logic, so we are not adding here, we are replacing logic, but the logic to change the item background of the item was already implemented in the starting point branch. So that's the reason that we haven't touched that. Okay, so we have that, and then what we are going to do here is share view model, selected item position, and then value. Okay, and it complains because it says the type, but we know that this is going to be an integer. And yeah, and then I believe, but we don't want, or we want, maybe we want, but so if we do this, let's try. Screen helper is dual mode. So we want that to use this to highlight the item just when we are in detail in dual screen mode. When we are in single screen mode, probably doesn't make sense that now, for instance, here this item 5 that was already clicked is highlighted. I think it's kind of weird behavior. So we do context and then okay, and I think with that will be fine. I suppose that you understand what I was saying. So it's just we are now sharing we are taking advantage of the view model that is really helpful for like sharing also content and handling the life cycle for us. So we can set also the position. So then when we are here in this mode, we remember the position, because remember, I think we said yesterday that every time that we go from single screen mode to span mode, we recreate the activity. So that's the reason that we need a way to remember the position that we previously clicked. And with this chain, that select item position that we have added is what is our backup, is what we are remembering the item position that we click on. Okay, let's try, because maybe I'm talking too much and it's not working. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I haven't broken anything. Okay, at least everything works as before. Here, fine. Okay. Now the problem was we tap on an item and then we span, and the item, the color of the item, the selection is lost or was lost. Now our theory is that now the selection will be there. So we do this, we open here, and then here is where we span. The activity is going to be recreated, but now we are using a view model. So the view model, we have the content, we have the position, and in theory, we should be able to, exactly, to remember the position. So then now we offer a way better experience for our users. So now we remember the item that was clicked. So when we are in dual screen mode, you have the content that you tap, but also you remember the item. And then it works well as before. Okay, perfect. So this was the main key point that we wanted to show you today. How easy is to enhance an app. Of course, this is a super basic app. We definitely understand that you are working on way more complex apps. All of us, we are working on way more complex apps than this one, no? But I believe, or we believe, if your architecture is good enough and you have a clear separation of concerns between your different elements or components of your architecture, adding support for dual screen mode is easy. It's not a lot of effort, and we already provide a lot of tools to help you in order to achieve that. So as you have seen, just to summary what we have seen in this part, in this chapter of dual screen enhancement, basically what we have done is just, first thing, here we have created our Maven repository. Here we have added the dependency, and then the key things has been, in the main activity, we have replaced the fragment container for our surface dual layout. We haven't added anything else, anything new here. This is sadly as it was before, just we have replaced one component for the other. And here in the main activity, what we have done is added with this check that we have also in our libraries. If you are in dual mode, then you replace the containers that the surface dual layout has for the list fragment and the detail fragment. If you are in single screen mode, just use the first container with the fragment, with the list fragment. And that's all. Then the other things that we have done is just change this click from the list item to allow to make it just working for single screen mode or single screen devices, and that's all. We haven't touched the detail fragment. One thing, the set view model to offer a better experience. But basically, is what we have done. So super easy. It's way more complicated to add the recycler view. That's the reason that it didn't implemented before than what we have done now. Okay. I suppose, Bianca, that we still don't have questions, no? Everything then, I believe, is clear.
No, for now, no questions.
Perfect. So then what we are going to do now in the last, I think we are good in time. Actually, I'm being slower than in my tries at home. I mean, I'm at home. So what we are going to do now is UI testing. Now we are going to show how to UI test for dual screen adapted apps. So here we are going then to add, first we are going to add a basic single screen test, okay? Single screen test. Okay. Oh, I forgot. We have to add the dependencies because we don't have testing dependencies here. So I have here in my notes in the other screen, here. So the dependencies that I'm adding is all the dependencies that you probably are using right now. So JUnit, the rules, Espresso Core, country for recycler view, and UI Automator. UI Automator, maybe you are not using it now, but we need UI Automator for one thing that we are going to, well, I can tell you, we need the UI Automator for being able to span and unspan an app. So with UI Automator, we can do that. We can achieve this to mirror the gesture, to mirror this gesture, or to mirror this gesture, or to mirror this gesture. So this is possible with UI Automator. That's the reason that we have UI Automator. Okay, now then we are going to implement a basic single screen test. If I remember correctly, then this was, yeah, okay, run with Android class runner. Why is not working? Oh, I don't know why. Single screen test, Android test. I think the dependencies are already. Oh. Okay, everything looks fine. But I can start with here. I don't know, run with Android class. Why is not working? Single screen test. Why is not adding dependency?
But if we go to the build Gradle.
Yeah, but I believe I have everything. Android test implementation, Espresso Core, contrib, UI Automator. Everything has been synced already. And implementation test runner as well. Okay, what we can do, I can do quickly as I've done before. I didn't like that, but we can go here and let's try to just hardcore the import. Okay. I'm going to activate all the imports. Android test, Java, everything. I don't know. It's weird. I'm having problem with the. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know actually. Okay. Get. No, then now what I wanted the activity test rule. Okay. Get rule. Okay, and then we are going to create an activity test rule. Activity test rule, but the main activity class. Yeah, it's deprecated. I know that now is we should use scenarios, but yeah, for this case, I think it's easy. It's what we want is just to access to the context for one thing. Okay, and then we can now add a test. Okay, what we can test. So we have 15 minutes. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm not going to do the test here. What I'm going to do it is in the because 15 minutes. So just in case we have time for the important things, dual screen test. We are going to do directly the test for dual screen. Okay, so fun should detail content be correct or something like that. Okay. Then what we are going to do is then implement the test. The first thing, the important thing here so everything that we are going to do here for this dual screen testing, dual screen test is exactly the same that you would do any single screen test. Exactly the same. The only addition is not different. Its addition is that now what we have to do is get an instance of the UI device from the UI automator. That for that, instrumentation registry, get instrumentation. And with this, then now we are able to do this device swipe with the, we are interested in this. I have here, as I said before, yesterday, using this function from the UI automator is going to allow us to test to mirror the span interaction. So to mirror what I saw before, like this. Okay, so these coordinates, what they do is mirroring that. Okay, so let's continue with the test. So, and that's the only thing that we need specifically for testing on dual screen scenarios. That's all. 2 lines. That's the dependency from the UI method. The other things, what I'm going to do now, you are used to that in UI test with Espresso. Okay, so then what we are going that the container, the 2 containers, so we are swapping, we are going to span mode. So what we want to test now is that the 2 containers are working, are visible. Okay, so then what we do is RID, first containers, first container ID, then check matches, is this display. Okay, on view, with ID, on view with ID, I forgot, with ID, the import, with ID, okay. Same for the second container. I'm just going to change this. So with this, we are testing that, okay, the first container is visible and the second container is visible. Fine. Then now what we are going to do is tap on an item. So for that, we do on view with ID, RID, list items that was called our recycler view. And then here, perform action on item, action on item, action on item, and then here is item view holder, and here what we do is has descendant and with, for instance, this is number 2, and then here click the actions click. Click the actions click.
We also need a matcher. So instead of with ID, it's with text here because we're checking this.
Exactly. With text. Okay, and then I believe here is the other. And one. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Bianca. Okay, so then with this, we have click on the item. And now we are going to test that the item is visible in the detail view. So here on view, matcher with ID, RID, detail number with text, 2, check, check, matches, is display. I forgot another thing with ID, with text, check. On view with ID, with text. And if I haven't forgotten anything, all of. I'm going to start because then I'm missing everything. With ID, RID, detail number, and then detail number with text, 2, here, I'm missing something and I haven't seen. Check, matches, is display. Okay, we are going to test just that, and that's all. With the body will be the same, but yeah. Okay, so now we are going to run 8 minutes, fine. We are going to run just in the dual screen device. So as you see now, we should do this. Oh, my bad. I click on the play app instead on the play test. So now we should expand the app little by little, exactly there automatically with your automator, and then there. Okay. Crash the test is not passing. Okay, null cannot be cast to non-null type. Oh, okay, I expected that. Here, so this is null cannot be cast to non-null type in Kotlin. So here in the item adapter, what we were doing is this, exactly, this serving model select the position as int, because was not initialized with a content. So what we do then here will be in the serving model is just init selected item position -1. So the problem is here is this problem. So the problem was when we launched the app, but we don't click on anything. We were here, this view model, we were saying that, okay, we now is an integer for the position, and then we are going to use this position to get access to the data. But we didn't click on anything. So then by default, the serve view model was null. So that's the reason that we click. Now we have here, create the default value, the initial value for the selected item position, and then we should be fine. So if we run again the test, fingers crossed, because this is the last thing that we will be doing. I have more things, but we don't have a lot of time. Now it should work. In green, should work. Perfect, perfect. So as a recap for the UI testing will be the key thing in dual screen UI testing will be just this, just 2 lines, that's all. So getting an instance of the UI device in order to make possible to span and unspan an app. And with that is enough. So we have all these, as for instance, one question we had yesterday, we had a question, but hey, having to use these coordinates is a bit, I mean, could be better. So right now we don't have a way to mirror this ADB, this interaction, but definitely something that we have in our to do, no, to always trying to help you developers, no, to implement, not just to create apps, but also to test your apps and to help in the whole process of making an app, on enhancing a dual screen app. So definitely we are here to help, and this is something that we will be working. But yeah, as I said before, just use this, and this is working. As you have seen here, it's working in the dual screen emulator. It's working as well in the real device. Maybe if you feel that this is a little bit slow, so these steps is for UI device is the time, is basically the time. So every 100 steps is a half second. So here we are talking about 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Was 100 steps half second? Then 4 seconds. 4 seconds is what we are adding here. I think was half second every 50. I'm not completely sure, but then will be it's in the docs of the UI automator. So yeah, if you want to play with that, but the coordinates are fine. And this is maybe it's a little bit slow, the interaction, but it's an interaction that it works. The same for an span and for moving, for instance, the one up, like, I don't know, we want to do this. We want to do this to the other screen. We in our docs, we also have how to do, we have the different coordinates that are useful for that. And that's all from our side. Bianca, do we have questions?
No, still no questions.
Okay, we have basically 3 minutes. I probably we don't want to enter in more things, but maybe in these 3 minutes I can show you something quickly, some things regarding our docs and another projects or samples that I pushed to GitHub for if we had time. So for the surface dual layout, this is the component that we have used in this workshop. Here you can see the whole documentation, how the different XML attributes, the Android Studio preview, the container ideas, how to do it, replace the surface dual layout, the configuration, how to use with fragments, how to use with layouts. So everything is here. Then, okay, here. If you go, I said yesterday as well, all these links, all these different sample repos, that they are basically some samples that if we had time today, I wanted to show you. We haven't had time today because my focus was to explain you things better, like slowly. And so here you have a sample for the window manager. So as we saw yesterday, so using the window manager, you are able to get information about the new form factor device, if it's a foldable, where the hinge is located, and so on. Here is the docs of the window manager and the Jetpack site. Then here we have another GitHub repo for the Surface Duo frame layout. That is another component, another library that we have created that allows you to move so you just use the layout and then you put childs inside this layout. And this layout, what it offers you is the capability to move the child of the layout to the left screen, the right screen, or using both screens. The docs are here. So actually here is the dual screen libraries. So I'm just showing you what we have here. Basically, it's super easy to use. You just define where you want to appear, that the surface dual layout frame appears in the start, end, or dual. You can do it also in code. You can do it in XML, up to you. Then sample with the button navigation that basically is really similar to the tabs button navigation. What you do, so we have here a button navigation, and you are able, using this library, to accommodate the button navigation wherever you want, to the start, to the end, or to dual, or to using the both screens at the same time. And then the final example that I wanted to show you was the tab layout. That is basically the same as the bottom layout, but instead is with tabs. So with this layout, if you replace this layout for the layout that is coming from the framework, at the end, all these layouts that we are implementing, they are just custom components. So they are extensions from the frame layout, or this is an extension of the tab layout from the framework, and so on, that we just add dual screen capabilities. That's the only thing that we do. So for instance, here in the tab layout, you can move the tab layout to the start, to the end, like here, or using both screens. And that's all basically for our side. This has been a pleasure. We hope that you have enjoyed and you have learned. And yeah, this is just been, of course, this is an hour and 30 minutes, so this is not a lot of time, but I think we have covered actually what we wanted to cover. The others, they were just extra points, and that's all. We are here to help, so whenever you have questions, feel free to reach to Bianca, to me, or to other members of the team through Twitter, through our community channel in our Microsoft site. Wherever you feel more confident, or you like more which platform. And that's all. Bianca, something from your side?
Oh, that is it. Thank you very much, everyone. And in case you have any questions, you know where to reach us.